Good afternoon guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having a lovely day. So today we're going to be talking about layering, and I'm just going to be discussing different ways that I like to layer my outfits, especially for the different seasons. So I'm going to be sharing with you 20 different styling tips and tricks that will hopefully help you layer different outfits in your wardrobe using pieces that you already have. I definitely tried to cover all the seasons in this video, but I do think that if you are in the middle of winter, probably these outfits would not really work for you, and you definitely need to add a few additional layers to stay warm. But hopefully some of the information that I share with you today can be applied to wherever you are in the world. Anyways, I hope you guys love today's video. I feel like this is sort of an introduction to the discussion of layering, as I feel like there is literally so much that you can talk about on this topic. So if you guys think that I have missed anything, just let me know in the comments below, and I can definitely do another video on this topic and just talk about it in a little bit more detail. And yeah, let's get started. Okay, so first up, I'm going to start with a white singlet and simple black jeans, and I'm going to show you from here how I would build up this outfit with different layers and also run through some different options as well. So perhaps this is quite obvious already, but the key to layering is to always start with the thinnest layer first. So for this initial layer, I would go with a singlet or a thin t-shirt that sits pretty tight against your body. So next up, you could add a thin long sleeve top. Again, I would go with one that is pretty thin and sits quite close to your body. You might opt to add this layer in for some extra warmth, or on a particularly warm day, you could leave this layer out. I've just gone with a thin long sleeve cotton top here, which is also in white, but you could play around with some different colors or materials just depending on what you already have in your wardrobe. So next up, I'm going to add a trench coat. For me, trench coats are perfect for those in-between seasons. I definitely wear them the most during autumn or spring with one or two thin layers underneath, but you could also wear them in the cooler seasons. It is just about adding a few extra layers to your look, which I'm going to show you here. So next up, I'm going to add a thin navy blue cardigan over my shoulders. The key to achieving this look is making sure that the top you're going to drape over your shoulders has long enough arms, as anything that is cropped or flared in the sleeve won't work as well and might also look a little bit silly. I would also recommend going for either a thin cotton-like material or a thin knit or fleece material, as I think that anything that is too thick or chunky or bulky might sit a little bit funny over your shoulders. As I have told you guys before, I think it is important that anything you drape over your shoulders could also be worn with the outfit if you did get cold. So I'm going to pop on this cardigan now and show you how it would look with the outfit. As you can see, the trench coat still sits really nicely over the three thin layers and hasn't become bulky or anything like that. The key here is to make sure that your outer layer, which here is the trench coat, is nice and oversized and roomy so that you can easily add these layers underneath. Now, on a colder day, you could absolutely add a fifth layer here. I would recommend adding a thin knitted jumper, and of course this could be worn either draped over your shoulders or worn over the cardigan. If you do intend to wear it over the cardigan, I would do the buttons up on the cardigan or whatever top you have on underneath so that it sits tightly against your body, and then add the knit jumper over the top. You might need to play around with a few different knitted jumpers just to ensure that this look works for you, but I think the key here is just making sure that each layer is quite thin and not too bulky. So at this point we have 5 layers on, and the trench coat still has heaps of room inside. It doesn't feel bulky on the arms or uncomfortable or anything like that. It just feels super cozy and warm. As a final layer, on a particularly cold day, you might want to add a woolen scarf as well, like the one that I've added here. You could add any color scarf that you like here, and it might also be fun to add a pop of color given the outfit is quite tonal at this point, but it is of course absolutely up to you which color you opt for. Okay, so next up we're going to start with a black mini skirt and stockings as a base. I've added in my under the knee boots, but any boots or shoes that you have in your wardrobe would definitely achieve a similar look. You could start with either a singlet or a turtleneck here, just depending on the weather, but given we are talking about layers and we usually do most of our layering during the cooler months, I'm going to go with the turtleneck. So this is just a thin black turtleneck, but it adds a great layer of warmth and protection from the elements, particularly on my neck. So for the next layer, I'm going to add a chunky black knit. I would recommend going for something that is a little bit more loose and oversized here. I think that if this knit is too tight and short, it might not be as flattering with the mini skirt and the stockings, but this is of course completely up to you. I've gone with an all black look as I just love wearing all black looks, but if you prefer, you could easily sub in a cream or a beige knit instead. So for my last layer, I'm going to add an oversized fake leather jacket. I feel like this really completes the look and makes it feel a little bit more polished and put together. However, if you were to take the jacket off and just have the knit on underneath, I think this would look beautiful as well. I think this is a great outfit for those colder months where you want to look chic, but it is way too cold to go out without at least 3 layers on underneath. So I think any additional warmth that you might require, I would recommend keeping a singlet on underneath the turtleneck, or even adding a thin thermal layer underneath the turtleneck, I think would work really well too. So the key to not looking bulky here is to make sure that the bottom half, being the mini skirt and the stockings, are still exposed. So ensure that the jacket or the coat isn't too long, just long enough that it reaches the end or just before the end of your skirt. So a lot of you guys asked me about layering during the warmer months and how I would do this. So I wanted to create an outfit that was better suited to the warmer months as well. So I will usually start with a thin singlet that is breezy and not adding any warmth or discomfort. For particularly hot days, I stay very clear of colours, and particularly the colour grey, as sweat patches can show really easily on thin singlets and t-shirts. So for the first layer, I would add a super oversized, comfortable white shirt. I would opt for a cotton shirt or a linen shirt in the summer and stay clear of anything that is too tight or too thick. For the daytime, I would probably just leave this outfit here, but if it were evening and you wanted to add a jacket, I would just add a really thin blazer, staying clear of anything that was made of wool or had any thick lining inside. Alternatively, you could also add a thin cardigan over your shoulders instead, and of course you could even swap out the shirt for a thin cardigan if you prefer, and depending on the weather of that day. I tend not to wear more than one layer in the warmer weathers, so it is just about picking one layer that feels comfortable and works with the rest of your look. But for a slightly cooler day, you might want to swap out the skirt for some jeans instead. I've just gone with a straight leg blue denim jean here, but a black, white or any shade of blue jean would work really well too. I wanted to show you a couple of different color options that I've been wearing recently with these kind of outfits. I particularly love pairing blue or green with blue jeans. I've always loved all blue outfits, so I've draped a blue hoodie over my shoulders here, but you could also take the shirt off and just wear the hoodie with this look instead. Alternatively, you could add in an oversized leather jacket or a blazer to this look as well, and of course you could drape the hoodie over this outfit on a particularly cool day, or you could put the hoodie on and just have the jacket over the top. Another layering style which I really love is adding a fleece or knitted jumper over a collared shirt and having the shirt details peek out at the top and at the bottom. I've added a beige coloured jumper here, but a huge variety of fleece or knitted jumpers would work really well with this kind of outfit. You could also swap the jeans for trousers, skirts or shorts, just depending on what look you're going for, and of course just depending on the weather. Okay, so lastly I wanted to talk a bit about dresses and how I would layer different dresses during the cooler months. So starting with a really simple black slip dress, I've added a simple blue oversized shirt over the top to instantly dress down this look and make it feel a little bit more daytime and relaxed. Alternatively, you could add an oversized blazer to this dress as well to make it feel a little bit more evening or dressy. Here I've added a tan blazer, but you could pick whatever color you like or already have in your wardrobe. For a mini dress like this one, I would opt to layer a thin, slightly sheer, long sleeve top underneath the dress. Just make sure that the top underneath is pretty tight and sits close to your body so that there is no bulkiness through the dress. You could also opt to wear a long sleeve bodysuit underneath this dress if you were concerned about bulkiness through the body of the dress. And lastly, I've added a little cropped black fake leather jacket here as well. A detail I really love about this combination is that you can see the sleeves from the top underneath just poking through at the wrists. I think in order to do this, you need to ensure that the top underneath has longer sleeves or that the jacket is slightly cropped at the sleeves. Next up, you could absolutely drape a hoodie or a knit or a cardigan over your shoulders here. I've gone with the green one from earlier here as a bit of pop of colour, but you could of course opt for any colour or shade that you like. And finally, I wanted to show you another option with this combination. I love to wear oversized blazers with mini dresses and love where you can't see the dress at all from the back, so it looks like you're just wearing a really big blazer. I went with the green one from earlier here for continuity, but any color or shade that you like would work well here too. Thank you so much for watching today's style video. I hope it gave you some new ideas for different ways that you can layer pieces that you already have in your wardrobe. And yeah, that's all. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!